Hi guys. We're gonna keep this video short and sweet. I am back in my car as I usually am. I don't have my long nails on anymore. I did get rid of them, so I just painted over them. It's not a good paint though. It's really cheap and it just wasn't good. But regardless, I still have some nails. Horse logo, because as I mentioned before, I do drive a Bronco Sport. She is my baby. So sorry it's shaky and unbalanced and weird. It's so impromptu. I did not bring my my tripod or anything like that today. I don't even have a plan for this video, so this is just gonna be like reading things in my car part 2 kind of thing. It's very sunny out, but it is very cold. That says it's 52 and it lies. It is not 52. We actually have a really strong breeze, or I guess you can call it wind gusts, because it's more than a breeze, but it is it's way less than that, and that breeze is so chilly, or I think we're even expecting possible snow flurries like all day tomorrow. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But it's warm in here now because I've got the heater on, and I've got the windows aren't super tinted or anything, so the sun's warming everything up. That is gonna make some stuff probably a little glary, a little bright, but we'll work with it. So let's by I guess reading some random stuff in my car, or I guess in my bag. This is a chapstick that I had in my pocket. I love this stuff to death. This is Chapsticks Lip Medex, a net weight of 0.15 ounces or 4.25 grams, which is the standard. It is got a copyright 2024, Chapsticks Incorporated, P.O. Box 5392, Oak Brook, Illinois 60522-5392. I usually use the stuff that's in the little pot, the Chapsticks Lip Medex that's in the little, it's like a little pot, but I don't like to dip my hands, my fingers in that during the day, and washing your hands every single time you go to apply lip balm is that's just unsustainable. So I've not seen these before. This is the stuff that is in the pot, just in a tube. I've not seen it before until this year, and judging by that copyright, I could render a guess to say that it's, it only came out this year, but I love this stuff. My parents have been using Chapsticks Lip Medex in the little pot since I was a baby, so it's just a comfortable scent to me. It reminds me of home. And then I started using it years and years and years ago, especially during the winter. And now that it's quite dry out, I've been putting it on before bed and using this during the day. So it's just a nice royal blue color. It says Chapsticks Lip Medex Lip Protectant / External Anaclesic. I love how it smells, I love how it feels, I love everything about it, just because I've been using it my entire life. But I love chapsticks, so I do have others. This is just the one that was in my pocket. Nope. Cloud went behind a sun. Sun went behind a cloud, sorry. Oops, I just dropped it, hang on. I am back. This is another thing I have in my bag. I brought it with me today and have not even used them. I need to use them, but I have not used them. So This is, oops, you can find these at Walmart. I think they're carried pretty nationally at Walmart, but it is Hanhu brand blemish patches. Improve the look of surface blemishes, protects blemishes from dirt and debris, blends in with skin for daytime or overnight use. I love this brand of pimple patches. Like, it's so good. I'm gonna swap hands. Give that hand a break from the phone. This is just the regular kind, so there's 36 patches and there's 2 different sizes. 18 in the 10mm and 18 in the 12mm. So I usually use these during the day. I usually put on like a cream, like a zit cream at night on any new ones that have popped up, but these are what I put on during the day. Just because that like cream really it's really noticeable. It doesn't blend in with the skin or anything. It's not clear. But this says target surface blemishes with easy to use transparent blemish patches. Improve the look of surface blemishes and keep the spot protected from finger picking, dirt, and grime. Perfect for use during the day or overnight. And our directions say 1. Before application, cleanse and dry the area. I really don't do that. I'm so bad about it. 2. Remove the patch from the protective film. 3. Apply directly over the area and gently press down. 4. Leave for 6 to 8 hours. And 5. Replace as needed, safe for daily use. And the main ingredient is hydrocolloid. So I typically will put these on in the morning before I go to school or as soon as I get to work, because I know I'm going to be there for 8 hours. And if I put it on for school, like, it can be on there for 12 hours or more. It's your usual stuff, like don't use it if you get a rash. This is made in Korea, distributed by Hanhu in Las Vegas, Nevada. They have a QR code. It says the package is recyclable. And over here on the right, it says the blemish patch is not made with natural rubber latex. That is a good thing because I know there are a lot of people who are allergic to natural latex. It's cruelty-free and vegan, and that is official. It says to keep it between 34 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree Celsius, and 86.3 degrees Fahrenheit and 30 degrees Celsius. And they're for one-time use only. So, I love these things. I usually use the bright blue package, which is like the extra strength, but I got these since they come in 2 different sizes. And I've also used their like deep blemish ones for like when I have pimples that are like they've been popped or they've gone away, but there's still that red dot on your face and it's been like months. And these really do work. I'm impressed. And it keeps me from picking at my face too. Like I won't even notice they're there. So that's the second item. Let's get out the third item. So here is our third item. This is a book. This is a new book I bought. I have a problem with buying books. I'm constantly buying books. And I never read them. Or at least not all the way through. Or I just I want to read them, but anytime I go to, I have the time to, I don't have them with me. So I'm trying to carry this one with me. This is a recent purchase, and I've already kind of destroyed it. I'm sure you're all shocked that I've already destroyed it. And this is a New York Times bestseller, and this is The 100 Years' War on Palestine, a history of settler colonialism and resistance from 1917 to 2017. It is by Rashid Khalidi. He also wrote Palestinian Identity. I think a lot of you have heard now about Palestine and are familiar with it. I think if you aren't, you've literally just not consumed news media. I think you would literally have to be living under a rock, because I was gonna say, even if you're only on YouTube, there's still breaking news coming through on YouTube about Palestine. So since even technically before 1917. I think the invasion started in 1917, but even before then, like into the 1800s, Zionists, which are people who believe that Jewish people belong in the Holy Land, or like where Bethlehem is, they believe that because of their religion, that they have their God-given right to that land, even though the indigenous people of Palestine have lived there for centuries and centuries and centuries. And since 1917, they've been waging a very bloody war. Since before even 1917, there's been tons of bloodshed in Palestine by the illegal Israeli occupation. But because the West wants white people in the Middle East, they are willing to support Israel in absolutely decimating innocent people. So this is a book from a Palestinian man about the war, and his family has a lot of history in Palestine. His family's been there for centuries, and they had this huge library, and one of his great grandfathers was like the mayor of one of the major cities there, and spoke to like the father of Zionism, so the guy who like designed Zionism. And it's just, I'm not very far into it, but like I'm literally just in the introduction, but it's already insane. I saw the word Ukrainian, I had to figure out what that was about. Oh, Cold War. Yeah. So I've got two tabs. Yeah, 2 tabs. And like I said, I'm only in the introduction. I already have 2 tabs. But this is the tabs I'm using. I'm just using the red one, just because I think the color matches the best. Like, it looks the most stark against the cover. I don't like to match my colors. I like to kind of make them stand out. And I don't really use more than typically one color in a book unless I'm really mapping out. I think so. For the most part, it's like I want to be able to come back to that, or it's a good quote. So in this case, I think it was like things, since this is like, nonfiction, it's things I want to come back to. But I just have that tucked inside the front cover, which definitely ruins the cover, but doing our best out here. Let's flip it over. So here is a really good the description. Sorry for the finger in the camera. Didn't realize I was even in the way. And like I said, I've already kind of destroyed the book. Not even had it a week. I've only had it a few days, and I've already destroyed it. In 1899, Yusuf Dia Akalidi, former mayor of Jerusalem, that's what I was talking about, alarmed by the Zionist call to create a Jewish national home in Palestine, wrote a letter aimed at Theodore Herzl. The country had an indigenous people who would not easily accept their own displacement. He warned of the perils ahead, ending his note, "In the name of God, let Palestine be left alone." Thus, Rashid Khalidi, al-Khalidi's great-great-nephew, begins the sweeping history, the first general account of the conflict told from an explicably Palestinian perspective. Accepted interpretations of the confrontation tend, at best, to describe a tragic clash between two people with claims to the same land. Drawing on archival materials and the accounts of generations of family members, judges, scholars, diplomats, and journalists, the 100 Years' War on Palestine instead shows that this war has always been colonial in nature, waged against the native population, first by the Zionist movement and then by Israel, but backed by Britain and the United States, the great powers of the age. Neither a chronicle of victimization nor a whitewash of mistakes made by Palestinian leaders, the 100 Years' War in Palestine offers both a compelling family history and an original, illuminating view of the Middle East's most intractable conflict. I would like to point out that when I read out loud, I'm dyslexic, and I can read a lot faster and more comprehensively than I can read out loud. So don't judge me. But this, as you hear, like, it's very unbiased. It's not told like it's not told like, oh, woe is me, but it's also not like whitewashed. So it's, which is very important to have the unbiased information when making, like, when reading about something, when learning about something. It's good to have unbiased, actual historical or scientific information, and this book delivers. I do urge you, even if you do believe that Israel should have hold of Palestine, or you don't seem to think the Palestinian people are people at all, which is a common Zionist ideal, I do recommend you read this. Like I said, I'm not that far into it, but like once I started, I couldn't put it down. I just had to put it down because I had to leave. I had time in between classes. Yeah, there's my little bookmark. We're only on chapter 11, or page 11 rather. It does have a lot of, I'd say, big words, so if your vocabulary isn't, like, mine's pretty expansive. I'm not bragging. My parents raised me on books. They made sure I could speak in full sentences by the time I said my first words. Like, they're a different kind of parent. So not everybody's going to have a vocabulary that can understand everything being said in here. And of course, it's also talking about an entirely different culture, an entirely different country. So there are words in here that I don't understand myself, because they are cultural or religious, regional. So I do have to Google some stuff. But if you do struggle and have a smaller vocabulary, it might take you a while to get through this, but no matter what side you're on in history about this war, you should definitely read it. It's really good. I will have more book recommendations. As I said in my last video, I think I'm just going to be angry for the next 4, possibly more years. So I do have a lot of, and I'm really interested right now in reading nonfiction. I have for the last year. Just really enjoyed nonfiction books. So, if you'd like to see like a book list or a book haul, like, I can totally do that. Book recommendations, kind of things like that. As I've said though, I've really not read through a ton of stuff. I have a lot of books, but I haven't read through them yet. So my goal for the upcoming year is to read like 1 book a month. And if not 1 book a month, then at least like 5 within a year, because like some of them are thicker, content heavy. Like, I'll give myself that grace, but yeah. So you can get this used. It was finished in 2017. So you can find it used all over the place. I found it at a Barnes & Noble. There are plenty of other books, though, that I'm going to be adding to my list for next year. But expect them to be in the same vein of political, angry, and nonfiction. In my nonfiction era, I suppose. But like I said, I'm going to keep this video nice and short. So I will leave you with this, and I will talk to you all later.